a brief, if you can, version of why you say there is an alternative.
Well, I think there's an alternative because when you understand that we take 800,000 people a year, and we have done so since Prime Minister John Howard, the highest intake in history, it's because we know it turbocharges our economy and contributes to our society. So, 800,000 per year. This shouldn't be news to you. No. 800,000 per year. No. 200,000. This is the problem. Because of the limitations of knowledge...
Permanent.
Because of the limitations of knowledge from some of the people who were the architects of sovereign borders, and I include the Labor Party because they should have come up with it themselves, they asked the question without knowing the tools we have available. Now, Hugh is completely right. If the problem is people taking a dangerous journey, and if we have people in our detention centres who tried every formal way and we blocked them, why don't we just use the available tools we have? Why don't we open up existing migration pathways? Why don't we use some of that $10 billion and throw it towards giving some stability and processing in the region? It would barely touch the sides. We could throw $1 billion at it in aid. It wouldn't touch the sides of the spend of what we're currently doing now. We could do all of those things, and it's been demonstrated both historically in our own current experience and elsewhere across the world that it would work. And the question we've got now is, why can't we have the conversation about doing better? I'm not going to say every single one of these things will work in and of itself, but Jim, if there's a way of doing this better, if we don't need to spend $10 billion, if we don't need the suicides of people, if we don't need child abuse, would you be willing to come to the table and talk about it? Talk about a possibility. Right, I'll take you up on that.
Absolutely, and we have...
Come to a summit. You're my first invite.
Absolutely,
and bring Malcolm Turnbull with you.
And this is not an academic activity for me. I have done this for real. I have done this from first principles and gone through and produced something which works. There is a cost, but it works. It has saved lives and it's restored the faith of the Australian people in their migration policy, which is 200,000 people per year, 192,000 people per year.
It completely ignores all of the temporary, uncapped migration that John Howard was the architect for, which is...
Can we just go, the fact-checkers are going to be all over this one. Is there anyone who can shed a light on this side of the table on these figures that we're talking about? 800,000 a year sounds like an extraordinary
Yeah, I mean, if I could
amount.
also just take the point that I don't think it's an academic experience for Shikufa or for Hugh or for all the other people.
And I'm not saying it was. I'm saying it
Jim.
wasn't for me. I said it was a real experience for me.
All right, fair enough.
Well, I think in terms of the figures,